Hi, this is Rajasimhan. We visited the Uttarpara factory of Titagarh Rail Systems, which manufactures various types of products, including the Vande Bharat sleepers.
So we are currently in the Uttarpara unit of Titagarh, which is the passenger rail systems division. This journey started way back in 2007, this aspiration to become a metro coach or a passenger coach manufacturer. In 2019, when we finally got our first order for the Pune Metro, that's when we started completely revamping, refurbishing this facility to really bring it to that international standard as far as quality and safety is concerned, specifically for passenger coaches and metro coaches. Then over the last 5 years, we've been able to slowly and steadily build on our order book, build on our technical competencies and capabilities also. The policies of the government, especially the Make in India policy and the Vande Bharat policies, have really supported Indian manufacturers, Indian industries like us to be able to work in a high technology niche field such as rolling stock. And the growing demand for metros, for passenger trains across the country is what gives us the confidence to be able to invest and to build a facility of this nature. I have Mr. Vijay Subramaniam, who's the CEO of the passenger rail systems business, who would perhaps be better suited to explain what it is we have built and where it is we are wanting to go. But our vision, our aim is very clear: to really make in India and make for the world, and build a product that is absolutely at par or better than that of what is being delivered in the rest of the world. Sure. So since about 22-23 until now, or until maybe next year, we laid down a total capital outlay plan of about 1,000 crores. Half, or maybe a little more than half of that, has already been spent. The remainder will be incurred within the next year or so. We are currently at a production capacity of 300 coaches per annum, which by the end of 2027 will be ramped up to 850 coaches per annum, thereby making us the single largest facility for passenger rolling stock in the country.
Yeah, so as you just visited the site, so we have three big verticals here. One is the Vande Bharat, the next one is for metros, and then the third one is for the propulsion. So as Prithish ji was also just explaining, so right now we are at around 300 coaches per annum. And going forward, what we look forward to is capacity of 36 cars per month in Vande Bharat, 36 cars in the metros. So together it's around 72. So together, for the year it's around 840 to 850 cars per month. On the propulsion side, this year we will be doing around 2000 traction motors, and we also have the capability to ramp up the facility also for the traction motors, for the converters, for the entire propulsion system, and including supplying the EMU rakes as well. So these are the three big verticals that we are looking forward, and every year it's a very exciting time for PRS division, because every year we have got all the investments that we have asked for. We are scaling up on our production. We are also building our supplier base, the ecosystem we are also ramping up, and we are also doing our own indigenous design as well. As you have seen, Gujarat Metro is our first indigenously completely designed by our own facility. So we have all the competencies, we have all the capabilities, and we have everything under one roof, which is not there in any other OEM facility in India. So one is, we wanted to have a very local flavor to all of these projects. And whenever you talk about Ahmedabad, the first thing that comes to your name is the Garba. And Surat also being the diamond city, that was the first choice for us. And even when you see the Vande Bharat also, when you see from the front mast, you see the design of the three lions, which is the national emblem of India. So, so we are also trying to add a lot of these local flavors, not just for the customer, but also to enhance our interior designing competency as well. So right now we are talking of about 300 cars per annum. So this year we will be ramping up to 24 cars per month only in metros. only in the metro division, which is 3 different projects, which is the Bangalore, Ahmedabad and the Surat. And of course, we have just started with Vande Bharat. We would be delivering the first train by March, April of next year. And going forward, we will be ramping all these facilities to almost 36 cars per month in each of these lines.
So that project is absolutely as per plan. The machines have actually started arriving at the port of Chennai. A few of the machines have already started being commissioned and installed. So by February or by March of 2026, we should be able to start that facility, which is well in time for the railway contract, because as per our delivery schedule with the railways, we have to start in June, in end of May or beginning of June 2026. So we are well in time for that.
It's a forged wheel.
It will be a fully forged wheel facility, fully automated. It will be zero human intervention, absolute zero, with a capacity of about 2,28,000 wheels per annum, out of which 80,000 will be supplied to the railways for the next 20 years, and the remainder can be sold to third parties and of course used for our internal consumption. So it is being installed from day one. All the plant will be installed in day one. It is just a matter of ramp up. As the demand increases, we will be able to ramp up production. So it is 51-49, 51 for RKFL, 49 for us, because the railway terms, the railway contract mandated that one partner must have a majority over the other. So that was 51 and 49. But the control is even. So as per public data that was available in I think 2023, the railways imported roughly 600 crores worth of wheels from other nations, which will be a full import substitution. Now if you look at the dynamics of the forged wheel manufacturers globally, there are very, very few players in the world who can manufacture forged wheels. When price competitiveness comes into the picture, it is only China that remains. With an Indian facility like ours coming up, which will be active not so long from now, it will not be just an import substitution for India, but it also allows us to work towards that vision of the government of make in India and make for the world, because this is a product that has a very strong export potential throughout the world. So the total capex for this unit was about 2,000 odd crores, which was funded by a mix of debt and equity. I will mince my words a little bit here, because we are still forming our plans and our capex plans, our business plans for this division, for this and the signaling division both actually, which are the two new divisions. We've been in shipbuilding for over a decade or almost a decade now, and while the projects we executed were not very financially substantial, reputationally they were very substantial in nature. So we delivered scientific research vessels to the Ministry of Earth Sciences. We've delivered a warship to the Coast Guard with GRSE. We've delivered an export vessel to the country of Guyana, again for GRSE. So we've been a part and we've delivered some very prestigious projects, which led to us having a very strong reputation amongst the shipbuilding community. And now going forward, again with the thrust that the central government is giving to this sector, and the global scenario of shipbuilders being the way it is, we truly believe there is a very, very strong potential for a company like Titagarh to get into that market and to make some waves.
Will be again in those kind of categories which you mentioned, or it could be a commercial?
So it would be looking at primarily naval shipbuilding, but we are also not averse to looking at commercial shipbuilding. So signaling as well, it would be a division which has a lot of synergies with the existing PRS, which is the passenger rail systems. We've identified to start with 3 areas in the signaling vertical or in the signaling domain to start, which is their vehicle mounted systems, train control and management, and maintenance. So these 3 areas we've already in fact started participating in tenders, but the detailed business plan and capex plans, as I mentioned, we'll probably share with you down the line. So last financial year for us was a little muted in the last 2 quarters, in Q2 and Q3, primarily because the wagon production could not reach the levels we had envisaged it to. This happened because of factors which were really out of our control. The rail wheel factory that supplies the wheels to us had some issues in production and therefore was not being able to supply the wheels. So this financial year we expect that the wagon production will be normalized at a level of 900 to 1000 wagons per month. But the passenger rail systems, what Vijayji was also mentioning, starts picking up from this year. So the Ahmedabad Metro, Surat Metro and the Vande Bharat, all three get productionized this year. The Bangalore Metro goes into series production this year. So the revenues start coming in not just from the FRS but also from the PRS side of the business. Today, so we stand as India's largest manufacturer of freight wagons. We have an installed capacity of about 12,000 wagons per annum, out of which we delivered about 9,500 wagons last year, which was the highest number ever done by any industry, any private sector in the country, which just helped us to further solidify our position as the market leader. This year, as I mentioned, we expect that production to go slightly up from that as well and stabilize at a 900 to 1000 wagon per month run rate. The Indian Railways today owns about more than 3.5 lakh wagons in its system, and the National Rail Plan is abundantly clear to keep inducting more and more wagons into the system to make it more and more available. So I'm sure if the Railways has its demand or has its plans to procure more wagons, it must be on the backing of some calculations or some workings. So that's, I mean, we do see that the picture for wagon procurement remains similar for the next 2 to 4 years. At the moment, sir, we are already moving to the southern part with our wheel JV. For our existing products, you see, we already have facilities that have been created over decades, large facilities. So it makes most sense for us to keep expanding here because the line of products remains similar. So we've just announced 2 ventures, which is the signaling and the shipbuilding. We'll have our hands full with that.